Brigadier General ሓyeሎም Araya, the eternal flame of Tigray. In the rugged highlands of Tigray, where the soil bleeds with the memories of defiance, was born a son destined to become the sword of a nation. He was not born into privilege, nor raised by kings, but the fire in his soul burned hotter than any empire could withstand. His name, ሓyeሎም Araya, remembered forever as the Dagmawi General Alula of Tigray, the spark of defiance. Born in 1951 in the womb of resistance, Dugu Atembian, ሓyeሎም grew up under the shadow of imperial neglect and brutal military rule. But even as a boy, his eyes were sharp, his silence heavy with questions. When others bowed, he stood. When others feared, he planned. Baptized in fire, the TPLF rises, the 1970s. Ethiopia groaned under the weight of the Derg, a brutal military dictatorship, and committed a horrific betrayal and genocide on Tigray in the continuation of the fake Solomonic dynasty. But deep in the hills of Tigray, young rebels with no tanks and no planes dared to dream of freedom. Among them, ሓyeሎም Araya rose like a lion, a natural commander, a thinker, a storm. He didn't just fight, he led. Every ambush, every escape, every raid bore the mark of his brilliant mind. The Mekelle miracle. In one of the most legendary operations in Tigrayan military history, ሓyeሎም led a small unit to capture Mekelle's heavily fortified Derg garrison. The odds? Impossible. The result? Victory. Weapons. Momentum. From that moment on, his name was etched into the annals of resistance. He was no longer just a commander. He was Dagmawi General Alula reborn, the spirit of strategic resistance resurrected. The lion marches south. By the late 1980s, he helped birth the EPRDF, a coalition that would change Ethiopia forever. He led forces from the north to the capital, defeating a tyrant with decades of blood on his hands. In May 1991, Addis Ababa fell, and with it, so did the Derg. But ሓyeሎም did not seek fame, nor riches. He sought justice, for the mothers who buried sons, for the peasants whose voices were never heard. Betrayed in peace. But even lions can be hunted in silence. On February 14, 1996, in Addis Ababa, far from the hills he once liberated, General ሓyeሎም Araya was assassinated. Not in battle, not by an enemy, but in peacetime, under shadows that still haunt the land. His death was not just a loss to Tigray, it was the silencing of a national conscience, a legend that breathes. But legends do not die. Today, the name ሓyeሎም Araya is spoken in reverence. Schools bear his name, warriors carry his fire. To the people of Tigray, he is more than a martyr. He is Dagmawi General Alula, the modern guardian of the people, the sword and shield of justice. He reminds us that true power does not lie in crowns or medals, but in the courage to rise when the world demands silence. ሓyeሎም Araya, your footsteps echo in our veins. Sleep not in death, but march with us forever.